At long last I have returned. Forgive me for taking so long. The traffic was a nightmare, and all of your friends kept asking questions. But I did get it. Oh, that book you wanted, of course. Didn't you say that you needed it for a project at work? Oh, those kids love a good story. Well, I know that. But since I went to all this effort for you, we should at least read it together, shouldn't we? That's what I thought. Are you settled? Good. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful noble. They worked in a nursery, taking wonderful stories for little children and turning them into the most amazing plays in the world. And all the children loved the noble, and so too did the handsome prince. The prince, you see, worked in the bakery across the street, and he always brought in sweet treats for the noble during his breaks. And all was well in the kingdom, and everyone was happy, until one day, when the beautiful noble was captured by an evil sorcerer from another kingdom, who put them under his spell. Bewitched, the beautiful noble told the handsome prince that they should just be friends. And, well, that broke his poor heart. For you see, the sorcerer was a very cruel man who badly mistreated the noble and made them cry. So the handsome prince vowed to rescue them. He visited the sorcerer at his castle and challenged him to a duel. The noble came back to the castle just as the duel was ending, and, much to the prince's surprise, begged the prince to spare the foul sorcerer. But you see, this was because they were still under his spell, and didn't understand that the prince was only doing what he had to in order to protect them. Oh. But after seeing the prince defeat the sorcerer, the noble grew very upset. The prince only wanted the best for them. But the noble began to scream and ran out of the castle to alert the guards. Which was a very bad idea, wasn't it? Of course, the prince didn't want to be taken away by the guards, because, you see, he dearly loved the noble, and feared that he might never see them again. So he whisked them away, back to his own castle, and there tried to give them the life they deserved. But they kept trying to run away. Oh, the prince was distraught, but you see, he had no choice. He took the noble down to his dungeon, and there chained them, so that no more evil spells could reach them. He didn't want to, of course. If the noble had just listened to him in the first place, none of it would have happened if they had just accepted his love instead of bringing the children inside whenever he visited and filing restraining orders. Then they could have lived happily ever after. But the guards didn't find the prince to take him away, and he and the noble were finally together. So in time, they learned to love him, and they stopped fighting him, and stopped screaming for help, and they just accepted that he only did those things because he loved them. Because the prince does love his noble, no matter how much they may hate him. And they both lived happily ever after. There. I hope you enjoyed your bedtime story. Oh, it's time for you to get some rest. I have work in the morning. And you look pretty sleepy. Good night, my little noble. Sleep well.